I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me. No, we're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all. We should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back. Starting from scratch, I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You will never be what I expected. Different frequencies, that's why we ain't connected. You know I will make it through. I got nothing to lose but you. It's true you're so far away, and it's true I can feel the same. It's another day, you know you want me to stay, but I go my way. I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You're my gravity. You're calling out my name, but the echo numbs your pain. Sorry, but more than just a shadow, I'm more than just a man. You don't care how I feel, you don't know how I feel. No, you don't know how. I wash away the sorrow till my heart can beat again. You're my gravity. No, you're my gravity. I will let you go. The only thing that I know, you were my gravity, but now I had to leave. I will let you go. Why do you think that I want? Why do you think that I want? I know how to breathe into my gravity. 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 I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me. No, we're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all. We should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back. Starting from scratch, I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not.
Warning. The Duracell Cup Series data file you have attempted to access is out of date. Uploading current file now.
It's a brand new car from stem to stern, and it's never been raced at these speeds.
The next gen car is opportunity.
Everything is different with the exception of like the seat, the steering wheel, and your helmet.
Unknown creates excitement.
Talking about my generation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here as we get set for race number 27 of Season 8 of the NNSCRA Duracell Next Gen Cup Series. Just the Cup drivers here this weekend as we are at Gateway Raceway, and we are getting set for the playoffs to begin. That's right, last week at the Auto Club Speedway, on both the lights and the Cup side, we determined the 10 and 16 drivers, respectively, that will be battling for this season's championships. The point standings have been reformatted, the drivers have been chosen, and their road begins here this weekend to take that first step towards advancing into the round of 12. We kick things off here this afternoon with pole day qualifying, our first round here with the go or go home drivers. There you see them, the four drivers that are going to be fighting for two available spots in tomorrow afternoon's starting lineup. Kyle Langland and Autumn Brooks just now heading out onto the racetrack. Hiccup Bush and Bryce Egan as well are four regulars that are running the rest of the season full time, trying to qualify into as many races as they can. Two of them running for Cup points, two of them battling in the Light Series, running for Lights points. And as we now know, for Kyle Langland, he is going to be in the hunt for the Lights Series championship. They don't begin their first race of the playoffs until next week, though, when both Lights and Cup Series drivers head to Road America. So an off week for the Light Series driver. Langland going to try and qualify his way into his seventh race of the season in that Icebreakers Dark Horse Mustang out of World NOS Racing. Autumn Brooks, coming up just short, was the first driver outside of the cut line to advance into the playoffs on the Light Series side. So she is also, with Lights having an off week here, looking to attempt to qualify for what would be her 18th start on the season, as lap times will start cycling in here, I do believe, in just a moment. You consider Autumn Brooks and what she's been able to do this season as a non-charter entry. She's had to qualify into every single race on time. And we've gotten now 26 races into this season, and Autumn Brooks has qualified for all but 9. That is really, really impressive, and there's been a lot of discussion about bringing Autumn Brooks up to the Cup Series in Season 9. You would certainly have to think that what she's been able to do in a non-charter entry, that she would certainly have a pretty easy transition over to a full-time chartered ride when we conclude Season 8 into Season 9. But they're still looking for that charter to put Autumn Brooks in the Cup Series is Garage 55. Right now, Autumn is top of the board, 36.519. Langland, 37.017. Hiccup Bush just turned his first lap of the session, 37.446. Hiccup Bush made his first start back at Kentucky and looking for his second career start here this week at Gateway. Crosses the stripe, 36.691. That'll jump him to second place. on the board, currently in a transfer spot. And Bryce Egan in the Air Jordan Camry out of Haas Racing. The defending winning team here at this racetrack is one season ago, Matthew Rodriguez. Actually, no, correction on that. I don't think... No, one of Matthew Rodriguez's wins here was not actually in a Haas Racing entry. Two of his victories earlier on in the season were actually in a Haas Racing entry, but by this time of the season during the playoffs, Matt Rod was actually with Northeast Motorsports in the 24 car. Bryce Egan looking to make his 13th start on the season. Another driver, much like Autumn Brooks, who, you could definitely see being a full-time charter driver next season. Granted, he hasn't made the number of starts that Autumn Brooks has, but you consider that he's made 12 of the 26 races. That's almost half of them. And that's having to race his way in every single week. Zero's about to be on the clock, and Kyle Langland, who was the first one out, sits the first driver below the cut line. Autumn Brooks 36.4, Hiccup Bush 36.5, Langland 36.6. This is going to have to be the lap, I think, right here, if he's going to qualify his way into one of the two transfer spots. Let's see if we can find any improvement. And no, if anything, he lost a 10th from what he turned the previous lap. 10th loss there for Autumn Brooks, and a 10th loss there for Hiccup Bush. So, looks like this is going to be a tire wear race as well tomorrow afternoon, as we're seeing a progressive decline in lap times. Had to get those lap times in early. And Autumn Brooks, Hiccup Bush right now look like, with the red flag displayed, they will be the two transferees. So Autumn Brooks will make her 18th start of the season. Hiccup Bush will finally be back in the starting lineup for his second start of his career. Of course, coming off that top 10 run back at Kentucky after qualifying in the 11th position. So we'll see what Autumn Brooks and Hiccup Bush are able to do in the upcoming second round of qualifying. They are your two go-or-go-home transfer drivers here today. Kyle Langland and Bryce Egan are going to be just short. They'll be the D&Q drivers here this week at Gateway. So we now will head into a quick little break. We'll then file out the other 40 charter drivers along with our two transferees and see who's going to start these playoffs from the pole position in the first race in the chase for the championship. Don't go anywhere. Our conclusion of qualifying comes up right after this commercial break. Thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast on NNSCRA TV. If you enjoyed your watching, it would help us out a lot if you'd hit that like button. Also, if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to become a part of the NNSCRA crew today. And if you're on your phone, be sure to click that bell to be notified whenever we have a broadcast here on NNSCRA TV. Once again, we thank you for your support, and we hope you continue to enjoy today's broadcast. Second round of qualifying set to be run. 16 drivers battling for the championship. Be some good momentum if one of them captures the pole, but there's another 26 drivers that would love to start from the inside of the front row as well. Carson Gum is one of those playoff contenders, as he'll be the first one out on track. If you're wondering how you're going to be able to differentiate the drivers that are in the playoffs to the drivers that are not, just take a look back there at that rear wing with the Duracell Gold and playoffs on it. That'll be your indicator of all your playoff contenders here this week, as well as in the races going forward. After the point standings were reformatted, Carson Gum comes into the postseason in the number 3 seed with 3 victories on the season, 5 top 5s, 9 top 10s. He is 5 points out of the top position, which right now is a tie between the number 1 seed Ryan Brommer and the number 2 seed Destin Bolin. Brommer winning the regular season championship, so 15 bonus points went his direction. And Destin Bolin with 4 victories, propelling him up to the 2nd seed. We'll start getting lap times on the top of your screen here as more and more drivers will cross the line for their first official lap times. James Qualls, another of your playoff contenders, multi-time winner on the season, 2 trips to victory lane, the number 5 seed coming into the playoffs. Another of your playoff contenders right there, one of 2 rookies that have advanced into the playoffs this season, Eric Sadler out of Young Motorsports. Eric is the number 11 seed, one of multiple one-time winners on the season. Another Young Motorsports entry just in front of him, teammate RJ Bishop. RJ is 13th seed, another of our one-time winners. Driver that benefited greatly on Nathan Ormond winning last week. One of our former winners on the season is RJ Bishop and Daniel Voiles were very close to not transferring if we had had a different driver go to victory lane. Well, he's not in the playoffs competing for a championship is the former champion Caleb Fogler, but keep an eye on him here this week because he is the he is a former winner at this racetrack, the inaugural winner at Gateway when this track was added to the schedule back in Season 6. Reggie Fogelman picked up his 2nd win of his career this season. Strong run down the home stretch of the regular season, and he is getting ready to battle for a championship. One of 2 Haas Racing entries in the playoffs. Reggie is in the 10th seed coming into this weekend. And there is the outgoing champion, Jessica Shelton. Did not advance into the playoffs. It's been a struggling year for the 94, 1 season removed from taking the entire thing. As a matter of fact, this is going to be the first time in 3 seasons that S3 Motorsports will not have an entry in the hunt for the championship. They have won the championship in that organization 3 seasons running. Season 5, it was Kyle Matthews, Stephen Pollard III, Caleb Fogler. Season 6, Charles Sanford, and of course Jessica Shelton 1 season ago. So the S3 Motorsports streak will come to a close here in Season 8. As Summer Henson, the 2nd of those rookies I was referring to, Summer in the 8th seed coming into this one, picking up her first career win back at Homestead. Alexander Rowe, we saw him win late here in the regular season at Bristol Dirt. He is in the 7th seed coming into this weekend's race. Nathan Ormond just went to victory lane for a 2nd time this season last week in the regular season finale at Auto Club. Because of that, being a multi-time winner, he is in the 6th seed coming into this one. And just to clarify, for those wondering, how does a driver end up getting a numbered seed when he has the same number of wins as other drivers? It's based off of their average finish as well, determines how they are positioned in terms of, say, the 2-time winners, the 1-time winners, or the 2 3-time winners that we have. It comes down to the average finish. Case in point, you look at Nick Gunther here. Nick Gunther getting in on points alone, did not win a race, but he pointed his way in via top 10 in the standings, while Gunther and Levi McIntyre were the 2 drivers that managed to do that. Levi has an average finish of 17.5. Nick Gunther has an average finish of 18.9. Therefore, Levi has the 15th seed, Gunther has the 16th seed. Ryan Brummer, our regular season champion, got 15 bonus points in his direction because of that. Also had the victory earlier on in the season at the endurance race at Charlotte. He is the number 1 seed coming into this race, despite only having 1 win and Destin Bolin having 4. But again, as I said, it comes down to average finish. Ryan Brummer with an average finish of 15.8 this season has problems for one of our playoff drivers, Michael Norman. Engine expiration there on the back straightaway. Good thing it happened during qualifying and not during the race tomorrow afternoon, as he's 22nd on the board in that 22. Michael coming into the playoffs in the number 12 seed, a former winner at Watkins Glen. Trying to find all the rest of our playoff drivers here. There's one. Daniel Voiles, he was the last driver to get in through a wild card spot. Former winner this season back at Sonoma. He is in the 14th seed coming into this weekend. And I believe that there's at least two more that I have missed. There's one of them, Levi McIntyre, who was the first driver to transfer his way in on points. Subsequently, with not having a victory this season, no bonus points came his way, so he ended up dropping from what was 5th in overall points now to the 15th seed in the reformatted playoff standings. And I believe I am missing at least two more drivers. We got to find, there's one of them, the 0-1 of Jack Mitchell, our Phoenix winner. Mitchell in the 9th seed, and that McDonald's Chevrolet. And last driver we need to find is actually there's one. So there were two others I needed to find. Destin Bolin, 4-time winner on the season. Really not a lot of good momentum for this driver out of Young Motorsports, if I'm being honest, down the home stretch of the regular season. His 4 victories got him in through a high-seeded wild card spot, but because he had those 4 wins, that was 20 bonus points that he got, 5 points for each win, which puts him in the 2nd seed coming into this weekend. And there is the final driver we're looking for, 3-time winner Matt Haas. Haas is in the 4th seed coming into this race. Of course, had that win back at Hanford, and he is the Daytona 500 winner this season. Could be a career year for him if he could win the Great American Race and the championship in one season. But right now, it is not looking good for a number of our playoff contenders. Right now, RJ Bishop is 35th. Ryan Brommer just picked up some ground, it looks like. He was in 37th. He just jumped up to 14th. Jack Mitchell is 39th, Nick Gunther is 41st, and Destin Bolin is 42nd. So there are a lot of drivers right now that are in danger of not having good starting track position for tomorrow afternoon's race. And I'm trying to recollect exactly how important track position is at the previous races we've held here at Gateway, 2 of them in total. And as we're seeing even here in qualifying, we're not really seeing drivers being able to make passes frequently. So that says to me that some of the drivers, some of our playoff contenders that are going to be starting up closer to the front will have the benefit of being able to maintain that track position, as we're looking at the driver currently top of the board, a multi-time pole sitter in Eric Monaco, who is looking for his 3rd pole on the season, which would tie him with Nick Gunther for the most here in Season 8. But right now, I'm looking down the running order. Our highest playoff contender right now is Levi McIntyre in 9th. Carson Gumm in 11th. Ryan Brommer, who we documented, just jumped up to 14th. James Qualls in 15th. Your top 8 are all non-playoff drivers, with Eric Monaco, Joshua Osborne, Jesse Turner, Benjamin Miles Dillon, Poteet the top 5, then Matt McIntyre, Kyle Matthews, Kyler Sustre, the top 8, and then Levi McIntyre in 9th. So as of right now, at least here in the beginning stages of the playoffs, no standout driver here in qualifying. As the red flag is out, lap times will cease to be scored here momentarily. It looks like Eric Monaco with a 35.724 is going to capture his 3rd pole of the season, 3rd pole of his career, and will tie Nick Gunther for most poles here in Season 8. Eric Monaco, Summer Henson, we've documented the battle that those two have been having for the Rookie of the Year honor. We'll talk more about that here tomorrow afternoon. Going to be 80 laps of racing here tomorrow at Gateway. And so far, since Gateway was added onto the schedule back in Season 6, we have gone 1-2, or 1-1 if you will, in a playoff contender winning this race to advance into the round of 12. That was last year when Matthew Rodriguez got the victory. It was his, I believe, third win on the season, and he handily advanced into the next round of the playoffs. The previous season, Caleb Fogler, the inaugural winner of this race, he was not in the playoffs at the time. Here's a look at what your starting lineup's going to look like. And as we mentioned, Levi McIntyre will be the highest starter of your playoff contenders, as he will start inside of the top 10 in 9th. He is the only one. You got Carson Gum 11th. Eric Sadler was able to jump up to 12th. Ryan Brommer 14th. Qualls, Ormond, Norman. Throw a blanket off over all those playoff contenders. Michael 17th, despite we saw that engine failure he had there during this qualifying session. Alexander Rose, Summer Henson 22nd, 23rd. Daniel Voiles 26th. Matt Haas 28th. And then we start getting down to the territory of drivers. Do they have good long run cars to gain track position that they clearly will not have when the green flag drops? Fogelman 30th. RJ Bishop 36th. And then look at our final three drivers, all playoff contenders: Mitchell, Gunther, and Boland, starting in the final two rows. So a lot of work to do for a lot of these playoff contenders if they're going to either have a shot at winning their way into the next round or getting some good points here, some good momentum with two tough racetracks in this round of 16 coming up, Road America and Nashville Super Speedway. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out here tomorrow afternoon at 1. Thank you all for tuning into this qualifying session. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become a part of the crew today. We've shown you the results here from qualifying. It sets your starting lineup for tomorrow afternoon's first playoff race of the Duracell Next Gen Cup Series. We'll see you guys for that. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon at 1. Until then, I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of NNSCRA TV, offline racing at its best.
The following has been a presentation of NNSCRA TV for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of the NNSCRA is prohibited. NNSCRA would like to thank all of our loyal fans, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.